Where do I go now? She said over here? What does that mean? I am an idiot. Oh, brother. I'm trapped in this small space and I have no idea where to go. Oh.
Tight fit. Come on.
Yeah, I don't want to be serious all the time. I wrote down a kind of joke, but I don't really feel comfortable saying it. There's a movie coming out next week called Us that I want to see. I'm sure everybody knows about it. Ouch. I wanted to maybe talk about scary movies, because I like scary movies.
Are you okay?
No! You scared the shit out of me!
The one thing I don't like that everybody doesn't like are jump scares. When I was a kid, I didn't like scary movies because I thought all scary movies had jump scares in them. And I just didn't like jump scares. I like them scary movies where... Oh, good thing we're talking about scary movies, because I feel like this is the creepiest part of the game, probably. I think there are clickers down here. Scary movies are a good way to put, like, characters in situations that don't make sense, or like they have to face something where I can't craft. That's cool, because the water. I don't know. I had a good thought yesterday, but I can't really remember it. Just about why I like scary movies. I really liked... There was a Netflix show called The Haunting of Hill House, which I really liked. And it was scary, but it wasn't... There weren't really any jump scares. There was maybe a couple, but it's just a story about a family in a haunted house. Oh, I'm doing such a bad job today. Did I restart? Yes, I started a new episode. Okay. So I feel like there haven't been a lot of movies this year that I have wanted to see, and that's one of them. Only recently I've gotten... I used to be afraid to go to the movie theater by myself, but recently I've gotten much better at being okay with it. The first movie I went to see was Arrival. I think that was like 2 years ago. Before that, I had never gone to a movie by myself. So I'd either gone just with my parents or with my brother. In middle school, I remember going to see a movie with friends. I don't know how that happened because I didn't have friends, but I went to see the Dane Cook movie. I forget what it's called, like Employee of the Month or something, and it was awful. Even as a kid, I could I could recognize how terrible it was. Yeah, there was like a group of like 6 or 7 kids that went, and somehow I got invited. Yeah, I was just afraid to go by myself. But recently, the interesting thing is, like, there are some movies that I kind of did want to see, but it would be weird if I went by myself. Like, I wanted to see that Spider-Man movie, the cartoon, Into the Spider-Verse, but I felt weird about going by myself to that one. But like, I went to see Blade Runner, and I didn't feel weird about that. And there are like certain kind of movies, like it would be weird to see a comedy by yourself, or although I don't really like comedy movies that much anyways. And maybe that's why. Maybe like you're supposed to see comedy movies with other people. But I like comedy TV shows, and you don't have to see those with other people. I'm trying to think of the last funny movie. There are movies that are funny that I like, but they aren't comedies. What's the most recent one I've seen? I guess I thought Spider-Man, the Marvel one, the live one, was kind of funny. I remember this next part being kind of hard. Oh! Punch him, just keep punching him. Ah. I liked the most recent Resident Evil game. That was fun. Just being down here reminded me of it. The story wasn't great, but it's just like, I feel like I haven't played a horror game like that in a long time, and it was just fun to kind of play a Resident Evil game, like a classic type of game. Where do I go? I feel like I'm gonna say something weird, which is so a lot of games are made by Japanese companies, and I feel like there's a lot of guys here. Ouch. Japanese stories are structured different than American stories, and I kind of prefer the American stories. So there aren't a lot of games with stories that I like. This is one, but this one was made by an American studio, so. I wrote a note down about how I don't really like anime TV shows. Let's just sit at the end of this hallway. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Ouch. Yeah, this part's tough. Do I have a bat? That'll do. So like the story in the Final Fantasy games and like Kingdom Hearts, and I'm not super into them. They have their own kind of style that I don't really like. This is not going well. Ay, ay, ay. And now I'm trapped. Okay, I think I have to use the cocktail on that guy. The problem I have with anime, I tried to watch a bunch. The only one I've ever really liked is Full Metal Alchemist. Why'd it put me back here? But yeah, I've tried to watch a couple. There's a bunch on Netflix. The one I remember people talking about that they liked a lot was Death Note, and I watched the first couple episodes, and I didn't really like it. I liked Attack on Titan, the first season. I never watched the second one. I remember liking that one. But all the animes do the same thing, where they over explain everything. There's so much narration of like characters' thoughts, and like, this is what the character's thinking, this is why the character is doing this thing. It's just too much. I think it's not like I'm not being like trying to be snobby about it, like I'm so smart that I don't need that explanation. I think it might be like I'm so stupid that I just can't keep track of all of it. I don't want all that information. I kind of want to just make my own story in my head. To take the characters' actions and kind of make sense out of them and make their own motivations myself. I don't really want them to over-explain it. They over-explain it so much. And I've had trouble like trying to read books too. I have the same problem. They over-explain like the character's thoughts. And so, okay. That should do. That should do. Whoa. He just went through the floor. Is he hiding? I thought I had time. I tried to read a book last year called Artemis. It was from the writer who did The Martian. And I didn't really like the book for that reason. Like I thought, I think the main thing I thought was I didn't really like the main character. And there are TV shows and movies that I like where I don't like the main character. But it's hard to do that in a book because there's like no room for interpretation. You hear the character's thoughts, so you know everything about them. So there's no like wiggle room on like maybe they're doing it for you can't put any part of yourself into the character. There's no room for that. So you can't make the character likable, I guess. Let's see what we have. Okey-doke. I have to do my taxes. That shouldn't be too hard. I have to do that today. I bought pancake batter. I'm gonna make pancakes for lunch, so I'm excited to try. I've never tried that before. This person from church gave me this special like maple syrup from Vermont because he lives in Vermont, or he has a house in Vermont. So it sounds dumb, but I'm excited to try that. After I'm done with this. Whoa. Oh, wow. He's stuck. He's having a little bit of trouble. He's gonna turn around any second. I don't remember there being that many glitches. Where's the key door? Where's the door? Where's the door? What's over here? Okay. I think I'll look for it. I'll pause the episode now, and then I'll look for it. Oh, or it's just right here. Okay. See you tomorrow.